Now, we're going to go into a little bit of a different place. I don't know whether any of you really understand or have a concept of what quantum medicine is. But this is a very new field that is very exciting and once again helping us to be able to see our bodies for what it really is. Now, if you could see the energy field that comes out of our bodies, because really, there's nothing that functions in our body that isn't part of electrical circuitry. And we are giving off this beautiful rays of energy all the time that is in complete harmony with the natural order of things. And everything works in concert with each other around us as we move through our lives on this earth, except for one thing: all the electromagnetic fields that we are now exposing ourselves to. From your cell phone that you never put down, color televisions, computers, and a million other cordless telephones, the list, microwave ovens, the list goes on and on and on, and it's disrupting our natural energy field that's in complete harmony with the natural order of life on this planet. So we are kind of doing this to ourselves, and it's disrupting the electrical units, connections in our minds and in our bodies. This is important to understand. We can't play with all these toys and shove food into the microwave, which, by the way, changes the molecular structure of our food. We are what we eat. So we have to start thinking about these things. We have to be grown up about it, and we have to use consumerism correctly. I threw away all of my cordless phones because you know what? They give off more radiation than the cell phones. And yeah, it was convenient. Do I like having 20-foot cords attached to my landline and I'm schlepping them through the whole house like this? You know what? Too bad. I'm getting used to it. It's fine. But I'm not getting all that radiation from a cordless phone. I don't need it. All this convenience, we are paying a humongous price for it. And it simply isn't working. Everything old is new again. Start embracing a simpler lifestyle. Now, along these lines, I want you to please give a warm welcome to somebody that has dedicated his life to quantum medicine. He's going to talk in greater depth about it and has a wonderful PowerPoint presentation. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Rivera-Dugenio, who is Dr. Jere to me. So here you come, Dr. Jere. Thanks, you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank Fran and Susan for inviting me here this year. Let's play a game here. I challenge you and I invite you to take your cell phone and just shut it off. Turn it off. Even if it's on silent mode, just turn it off. My presentation is less than 15 minutes long, and when I'm done, you can turn it back on. Okay. So my talk is about electrosmog and geopathic stress. These are two invisible dangers that affect our health. 16 years ago, I died due to a cardiac arrest, and I was pronounced dead for 3.5 minutes or so, no vitals. And during that time, I was able to have an outer body experience and actually know myself as true energy, okay? Because once we die, and everyone in this room will, you will drop your physical body and return to your true nature, which is energy. And in my field, which is quantum medicine, everything is about energy and information. Think of yourself as an information cloud, a cloud of information. Forget about your skin, bones, fluids, everything. You are a cloud of energy, which is information. And my field, quantum medicine, has to do with restoring the proper flows of energy into our body. Now, my background's in quantum physics, but I'm applying the laws and let's say the laws and principles of quantum physics to natural medicine. So we are much more than our physical body. Would we agree on that? We're more than the physical body. And there have been countless research by Peter Fraser in his book, Decoding the Human Biofield, that proves we are beings of light and sound. Now, in fact, there are very advanced technologies that can actually take a picture of our fields, gas discharge visualization, bioelectronic photography. This is proven science that can actually take a picture of what we truly look like. Now, what is electrosmog? It is the invisible electromagnetic pollution. It is caused by smart meters, cell phones, Wi-Fi, radio, microwaves, Bluetooth, etc. This is an invisible killer, and this will disrupt the energy fields, the information that is flowing around your organs, your organ system, your immune system. So it's very important to understand that although we live in an advanced age of technology, which, by the way, we are a slave to, right? I mean, how many here couldn't go without using the Wi-Fi and cell phone? I doubt one person in this room can do it. Are you with me? So, and there's tons of evidence, okay? In 2016, the National Toxicology Program linked cellular radiation to brain tumors and heart tumors. In 2015, the World Health Organization here it is. Actually, in 2011, the World Health Organization classified electromagnetic frequency as carcinogenic to the human organism. Okay? So they're saying that, guess what? All this electromagnetic pollution is bad for us. Now, it damages our DNA. We're not going to argue with that. It causes mutations. It activates the cancer cells in our body, and everyone here has cancer cells in our body. And it damages the brain cells. Radiation damages the brain cells. So, in 2010, Dr. Blank, a professor at Columbia University, did a study about how electromagnetic fields damage our DNA in our brain. Okay, so this is not pie-in-the-sky science fiction. These are hard research, peer-reviewed papers, clinical trials done on what electrosmog does to us. And there are a ton of papers online at PubMed that, tells you how bad the cellular radiation is for the female and male reproductive system. So hopefully, I see females, wearing jeans and putting their phones here in their bra. Not a good thing if you don't want to have cancer. For men, I see tons of men putting it right near their genitals. And if you want to have kids, I highly suggest you don't do that. And it's, do your research. Self-educate. Bluetooth radiation. I know everyone here uses Bluetooth in their cars, but do you know that our car is it's metal for the most part, and it is a Faraday cage. It is a container which keeps in the Bluetooth radiation in the car. So it's likened to sticking your head into a microwave and just putting the microwave on for a few seconds. That's what you're doing when you use Bluetooth in a car. And I know there's people, no texting and driving, no using the phone. I get it. But perhaps just don't use the Bluetooth. Don't just do one thing, and that's driving. Okay? The second invisible danger I'm going to talk about is geopathic stress. And many of you may or may not know what that is. It's natural electromagnetic frequency. It emanates from the core of the planet. Geo meaning earth, pathos meaning disease or suffering. So how many here have heard a saying, location, location, location? Okay? I'm sure you have. Well, it's the same when it comes to geopathic stress, because If you are living on a land that is emitting high geopathic stress, it disrupts the flow of energy and information in your body, and it starts to take down your immune system. So I'm not saying you have to move. I'm saying take the time to educate yourself and find out if you're living in an area or a piece of land that is geopathically stressed. Now, geopathic stress and electrosmog has a negative effect on the immune system through the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system transports all the antibodies and lymphocytes through the body. It gets our immune system ready to fight the invaders, to take on the viruses, to take on the cancers. But what happens when the lymphatic system gets taken down, gets compromised from the electrosmog and geopathic stress? Your immune system ain't doing anything, okay? So, and this is important, this is an important slide I want you to remember. It's not just about the immune system. The immune system is the one that does the soldier work. It attacks the cancer cells, it attacks the tumors, if it can see it. It attacks the viruses. But more importantly, when it's done attacking, it doesn't heal a damn thing, okay? You have scavenger cells that come and that take up the residue, but it doesn't regenerate. What regenerates is a system called the cellular regenerative system, which is poorly studied, by the way, and it was only really brought to light through the late Robert Becker, who was a 2-time Nobel Prize nominee. And this is our body's natural electromagnetic system. Surrounding every cell, every organ, every system around the body is an energy field, okay? And it's not the electromagnetism that I'm talking about, which is bad for you. It's our natural energy system. This is the system that actually heals you, that actually regenerates you. It's not the immune system, okay? So there is a correlation between cancer, geopathic stress, and electrosmog. Studies have shown over 85% of patients who die from cancer have experienced regular exposure to geopathic stress or electromagnetic frequency. And the Germans, for over 80 years, have known this, and they are the experts in electrosmog and geopathic stress. So common symptoms are exhaustion, insomnia, depression, miscarriages, infertility, allergies, et cetera, resistance to medical treatment, all right? So there's a ton of research out there that backs up what I'm saying. The late Dr. Hans Nieper said that 92% of all of his cancer patients and 75% of his MS patients, guess what, were geopathically stressed, were affected by natural electromagnetic frequency. The late Dr. Ernst Hartmann, he came out and just had the guts to say cancer is a disease of location. So if you're living near high tension power lines or someplace that you may have an underground stream running underneath your property, you may want to relocate. So yeah, geopathic stress and electrosmog, it takes down the immune system, okay? So tons of papers on PubMed that you can find about geopathic stress, health hazards, and electromagnetic fields. You can do your own research. Smart meters, okay? The technology used in cell phones, which causes brain tumors and cancer, are the same technology that's used in your house that's regulating your energy. So why are we installing, or we allowing the electric companies or energy companies to install the new smart meters? If you have the old analog ones, stick with that. But probably no one here, unless you have a house that's older, you probably have the new smart meters that actually send out frequency to the energy companies, tracking your every usage of energy, but more importantly, exposing your whole house to radiation that is, let's just say, criminal, okay? So smart meter radiation, 160 times more powerful than cell phones, all right? And this was done by a researcher by the name of Daniel Hertz here in Santa Cruz. And it's not something to take lightly, people. There are common sense rules I have here, and everyone here can get a copy of these slides. Just, ask Susan or anyone here. Let's just stop using cell phones for 5 or 10 minutes, right? Fran talked about replacing cordless phones with, corded telephones. Shut off your Wi-Fi at night. If you're sleeping, why would you need your Wi-Fi on, right? Are you expecting an important email? Open it in the daytime or when you wake up. Opt out of the wireless smart meters, and if you can't, then you can install smart meter guards that you can get on Amazon that actually cover the smart meters, or you can use certain type of paints that could shield your house from these very powerful radiations. If you have children, don't let your child use your cell phone, and don't give them a cell phone. I mean, they don't need one. Why do they need one? To call their 8-year-old friend? I don't think so, right? So avoid carrying your cell phones anywhere on your body, okay? So put it 3 to 6 feet away from you if you can, or just shut it off. And I bet you didn't know that if you are using your cell phone, and you know how you don't have the strongest bars, maybe you have like 1 bar and you're trying to make a phone call, it's at that time that your cell phone gives off the greatest amounts of radiation, okay? So wait till you get into a great reception area, right? And use your speakerphone. Don't put it to your head, and don't use Bluetooth in your ear, okay? Studies have shown that there's a correlation between using Bluetooth in your ear and brain tumors. It's that simple. If you want to have a brain tumor in the future, be my guest. Just use your speakerphone, all right? Your beds. We spend almost 80 to 90% of our time at home in our beds. Make sure it doesn't have a metal frame. If it does, get a wooden frame, okay? Because that metal frame, it exacerbates the radiation coming up from the earth. And earth does emanate geopathic stress, okay? Water beds, throw them out if you have a water bed. I don't even think anyone I know has a water bed, but the water itself is a conductor for radiation. If you do have microwaves, please throw them out. Or the only time I see good use for a microwave is if we get an EMP attack or a solar flare and you want to keep your electronics from frying, you put it in a microwave. That's the only use for a microwave. It's a Faraday cage, okay? Let's see. Never work on your laptop on your lap, okay? Just radiating your genitals, your reproductive system, and your organs, okay? So, yeah, I know, this is a tough pill to swallow, but all it takes is just one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. You don't have to implement all of these. Just take a couple of the points and just, engage in it. How to reduce EMF exposure in your house. Potted plants, okay? Having them absorbs the radiation. And I know, plants are wonderful. I mean, unfortunately, they do absorb radiation, so they'll take the heat for you, okay? Epsom salts, containers of Epsom salts will absorb radiation, okay? So if you're living near a power line or a electric company, move, okay? There is high correlations of cancer with residents living in houses near high tension wires, period. Try to wear natural shoes or rubber-soled shoes, right? Because it decreases this electric static in your body. And try to use natural clothing, less synthetics, okay? Will reduce EMF exposures. Now, one of the greatest techniques that I use is grounding or earthing. Take 5 or 10 minutes to take off your shoes. You all live here in a great area with beaches. Go walk on the beach for 5 or 10 minutes. Walk on the grass for 5 or 10 minutes. This will neutralize the radiation in your body. The transfer of negative electrons from the earth will take care of the positive electrons in your body, right? So Try it. You don't have to believe me, and don't believe a word I say. Just try it, and you'll see how much better you feel. And a friend of mine, biophysicist James Oshman, he says the moment your foot touches the earth or you connect to the earth, your physiology changes. An immediate normalization and anti-inflammatory process takes place. So you actually begin to, all the inflammation in your body begins to decrease, okay? And what better way? It's free, right? Doesn't cost a dime. Just start connecting to the earth a bit more, right? Again, peer-reviewed papers, research on grounding, on earthing, and what it does for the cardiovascular system. Yeah, here's my personal grounding techniques: walking on the grass every day, standing, just standing like a tree, or hug a tree, or visualize yourself connected to the earth, the planet. These simple techniques will do wonders for your inflammatory process in your body. Educate yourself, because it leads to self-empowerment. And if you have any questions, you can email me. Okay? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
So important. Thank you, Dr. Jere.